History shows us something uncomfortable. Civilizations don't collapse because of enemies. They collapse when men choose comfort over courage. Civilizations fail when men abandon their duty, when good men refuse to lead. That pattern has repeated itself for thousands of years, and no civilization demonstrates it more clearly than Rome. Most people think that Rome fell because of barbarians, because of war, because of chaos at the borders. And that story is simple and it's comforting because it lets us believe collapse is something that happens to us instead of something that grows within us. Rome didn't fall suddenly. It decayed quietly from the inside. Long before the walls were breached, something else had already fallen: the character of its men. Early Rome was built by farmers, craftsmen, and fathers who became soldiers when called. They had no standing army, no celebrity culture, no obsession with comfort. Roman men were trained to endure hardships, obey authority, and place the city above themselves. Discipline was not optional. Masculinity meant restraint, sacrifice, and responsibility. A Roman man's honor was not measured by how much he consumed, but how much he carried. But centuries later, everything changed. The citizen soldier disappeared. The army was outsourced to mercenaries. The fathers stopped training their sons for hardship. Politics became entertainment, and entertainment became obsession. And we got bread and circuses. It replaced duty and discipline. Men were no longer expected to protect the civilization. They were expected to enjoy it. And Rome did not fall because strong enemies grew. Rome fell because strong men vanished. And this pattern repeats itself across history. We can see it in Israel during the time of the Judges and later in Greece. Every collapsing empire decays from the inside out. Judges 2:10 says, "There arose another generation who did not know the Lord or the work he had done." That is not ignorance, it's failure. Fathers stopped teaching, men stopped leading, and homes drifted. Weakness did not begin on the battlefield, it began around the table. In Proverbs 24:10, it says, "If you faint in the early days of adversity, your strength is small." We're not talking about muscle or money. We're talking about moral strength. And in 1 Corinthians, Paul writes, "Be watchful, stand firm in the faith, act like men, and be strong." He was writing those words to a wealthy, soft culture. And we can also look to history to show us what strong men actually look like. In Rome, there was a farmer named Cincinnatus. He lived simply. He worked his land. He raised his family. And when Rome faced invasion, the Senate rode to his farm and gave him absolute power. He left his plow, he took command, and he defeated the enemy. And when the crisis had passed, he resigned. He gave up all of that power and returned to the field. There was no throne, there was no applause, and there was no comfort, just duty. Now that is strength. In America, we've got somebody similar. His name was George Washington. He had the opportunity to reign for life. He was given an opportunity to be a king, but he chose another path. He served his country, and when he was done, he returned the power to the people and went back to his farm. Again, that's duty. That's real strength. And what do strong men actually do? And how can you become one of those men? Well, first, you need to govern your own body. That begins with sleep, a good work habit, restraint where needed, and you need to take care of your health. A man who cannot govern himself certainly cannot carry others. And second, you need to order your mind. You need less distractions and more truth. Get into scripture, read history. Weak men escape into noise, but strong men confront life. They take it on head on. Third, lead your household. You don't need a platform, you need faithfulness. Your children should know what you believe, and your wife should know where you stand. Your home should know what truth sounds like. And fourth, accept hardship without bitterness. Rome collapsed when men demanded comfort. And Christianity was built by men who accepted suffering without surrendering virtue. You don't choose the era you're born into, but you do choose whether or not you will be a consumer or a carrier, a spectator or a guardian, a man of ease or a man of weight. And civilizations don't need louder men, that's for sure. They need steadier ones. They need faithful men, disciplined men, men who stand their post even when no one's watching. The hard times don't destroy strong men, they reveal them. And history is watching. My name is Dennis Gill, and this is the Faith and Fortitude Project. Thank you very much for watching to the end. If you've gotten something out of this video, please like and share it with someone else. And remember, always be faithful, always be strong. Now let's get after it.